Welcome to Dat Wrasslin podcast. This may be our last episode of the year, potentially. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. A lot of things going on for a lot of people right now. Mostly just me. But we'll figure that out as we go along. And tonight we're going to just kind of skip over quite a few things that we normally discuss, like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, all the shows in detail. And we're just going to kind of go over like the draft and all those little nuanced things and the bits of news and the AEW versus WWE, all that kind of stuff.
NXT.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep, it's the Wednesday Night Wars.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate that.
Yep.
So we're gonna go over all that stuff. I'm pulling up the draft stuff, but I haven't really been paying much attention to wrestling in the past 2 weeks. So, the basic thing that I will talk about that I have opinions on are going to be the draft itself, and that's pretty much it. I don't really have opinions on anything else because I haven't been able to watch the AEW shows.
You watched Soulamazin, right?
Yes, I absolutely did. The shit show that was Hell in a Cell.
Let's talk about that first. And why it's a shit show.
Well, we're just going to talk about the main event, correct?
Yeah. Let's just talk about the shit.
There were things I liked about the main event, and there were things that I absolutely hated about the main event. The main thing was the ending that left a sour taste in everybody's mouth.
Yeah.
Yep. Much like the taste I left in Ben's mouth last night. Kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking. The Hell in a Cell ending was pretty shitty. Up until the after ending, which I didn't mind everything that happened after the match got called. Like the whole well, here's the thing that I appreciated. The mandible claw with the blood coming out of Seth Rollins' mouth and all that. I was like, that's fucking dope. But it should have been the finish. That should have been the way the match ended. They should have called the match with the blood. Don't call the match on the Fiend. Call the match on Seth Rollins with the blood coming out. Oh, it's too much. He can't handle it.
True.
Blah 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 blah.
True.
That's when they should have called the match, not calling the match on the Fiend after a fucking sledgehammer hit some chairs.
No, sir.
In a Hell in a Cell. In a Hell in a Cell at that.
Fucking Bray Wyatt uses a big mouth.
It's an extreme, it's extreme rules. That's not a means for calling.
That's the whole point of it.
I know.
I could see calling the match for a mandible claw with blood coming out of somebody's mouth, but I can't see you hitting a stack of chairs with a fucking sledgehammer and that being the reason that you call the fucking match. That was pretty retarded.
That was terrible. That was like the worst thing I ever seen in the history of WWE booking.
Like everything was booked with the whole thing. The whole main event was good. How the fuck could you fuck it up by having it's just like how Xbox said. It's like Xbox said, how the hell do you have a DQ in a Hell in a freaking Cell? Like, everything was perfect. You had the Fiend booked like a damn horror killer. Like, he doesn't care about the title. He wants to fucking kill you.
It looked good too. And like the whole story was
everything.
there.
It was like Seth versus Brock Lesnar. This man got put through with curb stomp to the curb stomp to curb stomp. I mean, that got a little annoying and stuff, but this dude was kicking out of one. And it was cool. I liked it. You know, it was a way for okay, here we go, the Fiend, and then is about to win. And then we get Seth Rollins beating the shit out of him for like 10-15 minutes. Bray Wyatt's just been completely out of fucking vulnerable at this point, and then throwing a bunch of stuff on him, and then Bray Wyatt is out, and they play it off with a stretcher, open up, the ref is calling the bell, and they're like, honestly, like, this would have been better if it was like that, but do not end the match.
The only person who could have pulled off like the thing that Seth Rollins was trying to go for that I can think of, like if they had Tommaso Ciampa versus The Fiend, I could see Tommaso Ciampa like snapping and going too far, and then the referee calling the match. But Seth Rollins is not the kind of person that can have the intensity that Tommaso Ciampa has, the aggression. And when he does, it seems fake.
Right.
So for those reasons, that ending was fucking horrible.
That was the worst.
People were rioting after the match.
There were AEW chants going on during a WWE pay-per-view.
AEW chants.
You have to imagine.
Restart the match. Like, what was the whole point of it? He gets right back up like it's nothing. Like, what the hell's the point?
You've got to think that WWE was like, what the fuck? But then
I did hear
the last episodes of Raw and SmackDown were garbage.
Yep.
Yes.
The following ones.
And on top of that, Vince McMahon liked that shit.
Yeah.
He was like laughing at the fact that ending the Hell in a Cell happened. That's how fucked up that he is.
God.
He don't really care about anybody else's opinion. He don't really care about this business. All he cares about what comes out of people's pockets and people going in with his own venue, so that way he can make another season of XFL or some shit. He doesn't care at all. And we've been seeing it week after week. It's just there hasn't been any love for WWE. And you expect
ratings are not doing good.
Yeah.
Well, but at the same time, I will say that quite a few disparaging remarks about AEW, because that show hasn't been that great either. And a lot of people have been...
Yeah, they have been smashing NXT recently. They've been smashing it.
In the ratings. They've been smashing NXT in the ratings because not that many people are used to watching NXT.
You would still think NXT would get more ratings since it's free now, and it's on television.
It's been mostly AEW because like people want a fresh new batch of wrestling, and they're tired of watching WWE every week.
It would have been. It's so much more pros to NXT than AEW. There's a lot more pros than cons towards NXT to get more ratings than AEW at the start.
At this point, I still think that NXT is the better show. I still think, no matter what anybody says, I think NXT is a better show than AEW. I don't think Raw is a better show than AEW. I don't think SmackDown is a better show than AEW right now. But for sure, 100% NXT is a better show than AEW, in my mind. Prove me wrong.
I can't say anything because I don't watch NXT, but
I watched a couple of NXTs. Like when they first came into let's say like here the first week of NXT Live, it was really good. It was the title matches were spot on. Like Matt Riddle and Adam Cole, they were killing each other, dude. And
Tommaso Ciampa came back last week. What the fuck are you talking about? That's amazing. That makes it worth everything.
Not last week, but the first week was good.
The first week
was good. AEW was good, but AEW, in my mind, won by a landslide. Like, there was shit fucking happening like there was not expecting. Jon Moxley drove Kenny Omega through glass, and then Jack Swagger came in, and there was a big old run-ins, and they were setting up this faction that we have now.
I got a big problem with the Jack Swagger thing. They're calling him an undefeated MMA fighter when he fought one MMA match. That's fucking stupid.
Well, it was two. It was two, and apparently
He's won one professional MMA fight. He did not win two. His other one, no, it was not a professional.
It was one.
It was one. He's won one. I watched the one professional fight he had. The other one was not a professional fight.
Oh, okay. It was an amateur fight then?
Basically. It's like the prove yourself to get in kind of thing.
Because I know that he did one against T.J. Jones, and then his first one was against some other dude. He's 2-0 in Bellator.
He's 2-0 in Bellator?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how I missed the second fight.
I don't know either.
I don't know whether I actually don't know whether I missed the first fight or the second fight, because I'm pretty sure I watched the first fight because I pulled it up on the Watch Wrestling thing channel that it's not anything people are supposed to be watching.
Oh yeah, 2 fights in Bellator.
Okay, so maybe 2-0, but still. For one, it's Bellator. That's not. That's like saying, this guy came from the Canadian Football League to join the WWE.
No, but Bellator is basically.
Bellator is basically the minor leagues of WWE. No, it's not. There's not a single champion in Bellator that could. No, there's not a single champion in Bellator that could hold a fucking candle to a champion in the UFC. And that's the difference.
There's been...
I would say if Bobby Lashley was still in Bellator,
there's been people that are from Bellator.
Bobby Lashley would have been destroyed in the UFC.
I don't know. Bobby Lashley has a good record in the UFC. And no, I use Bellator. He has some pretty good fights.
What's his record? Pull it up.
Let me check.
What, Bobby Lashley?
Bobby Lashley,
yeah.
It wasn't a bad record.
He's held the title.
But
his record is actually 15-2. But in Bellator, he is 5-0 in Bellator.
5-0.
Bobby Lashley. His overall MMA record is 15-2. And those 2 losses wasn't even in Bellator. They were in Strikeforce. I think you're thinking of Strikeforce. Strikeforce is the minor leagues of any MMA.
Bellator is not.
A lot higher than.
No. Strikeforce is higher than Bellator. Strikeforce, so. yes, because Strikeforce has different rules than UFC. And different rules than Bellator. Strikeforce uses kickboxing rules.
You're telling me Rampage Jackson isn't good. He's from Bellator, and he was in UFC, and he had a mean streak in both UFC and Bellator.
Look, I lost a lot of respect for Rampage when John Jones beat the shit out of him.
Well, John Jones is a heavy hitter right now.
John Jones is the GOAT.
Big. The big guy.
He's the GOAT.
But we're not talking about UFC. We're talking about WWE and AEW.
Yeah, we're talking about wrestling stuff, not
let's move on just a little bit, and I really want to cover 2 main things that happened while I was gone, and while we weren't streaming. And it does involve UFC, and it actually involves boxing as well. So we have Cain Velasquez, we have Tyson Fury. I'm half and half on this. I'm half and half on this. The Cain Velasquez thing, I think, is amazing. I think it's great.
I think it's great.
You've got the one person in the entire world who has beaten Brock Lesnar in the UFC, so he has the legitimate credibility to say, hey, look, I've beat you for fucking real.
Exactly.
I thought that was awesome. Really well. The Cain Velasquez. The only thing I didn't really care about was like how Rey Mysterio had to come out there all like with an arm sling and stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna bring my son's godfather, Cain Velasquez. Like, Rey Mysterio doesn't need anybody to back him up. Rey Mysterio, at one point in my life that I remember, beat Kevin Nash and Lex Luger in a handicap match. Fuck you for saying that Brock Lesnar can destroy him in like 10 seconds.
No.
Get that shit the fuck out of here. Rey Mysterio is supposed to be the guy that has so much heart that he won't quit.
Yep.
And that really destroyed that image of Rey Mysterio for me. I was like, you got to be kidding. How can you do this to a fucking legend? It's like taking Jeff Hardy and acting like he can't climb a ladder right now. He's probably drunk. So.
Drunk off the last. Yep. There is a Hardy family controversy right now. That's family feud is going on Twitter right now between Rebecca Hardy and Beth Hardy.
We'll dive into that later in like the rumor section. Let's cover the main basics that we've got to go over. So Cain Velasquez, awesome addition. Tyson Fury, not so much. My main problem with Tyson Fury, it could have been great, but the fake ass punches that he threw.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god.
He didn't even fake hit people. He was like ghost punching. Like
he was
hitting nothing but thin air. I couldn't do anything but
I think he was
laugh.
Scared to actually hit them.
I think he was absolutely was. He was scared he was gonna hurt somebody. But they should have practiced this shit before they came out in the fucking ring or something.
You know they didn't, because
hey, just come out, you'll be fine.
Was so awkward. The face-off was so awkward.
It's like, and that's another thing. It was like 10 minutes of them being piled on, and then we break the pile, and we fight each other. We break the pile, we fight each other, and we keep doing that for like 15 minutes. It was fucking stupid. You want to know what's
the most impressive out of this segment? Tyson Fury can break a pen, guys.
Oh my god!
Wrong.
Yeah, that pen was very indestructible. That pen must have been indestructible.
And then Braun Strowman is acting like a fucking muscle meathead. He's like, "No, I'm so strong, I could throw you 100 meters away."
That's your Arnold? Is that your Arnold impression? Are you saying Tyson Fury is Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Let's just admit Tyson Fury.
That dude is a fucking hotshot.
Let's just imagine.
Like, go on, Braun Strowman, I'm gonna lift you up in the air. I can hit you. Like, get out of here, you fucking meathead.
Let's just admit, in real life scenario, Tyson Fury would fucking destroy Braun Strowman.
That's why I want the Crown Jewel match to be a boxing match.
Him. That's why that's why it doesn't look. It's not good. It's not good of the storyline.
When Crown Jewel happens, Tyson Fury is gonna bury Braun Strowman. He's gonna fuck him up.
He's probably gonna ghost.
No, Braun Strowman's gonna win. They're gonna bury Tyson Fury.
None of them.
And here's the thing: I'm really super fucking worried that they're gonna bury Cain Velasquez too.
They're going to. Brock Lesnar. There's no way that Cain
both of these shows. Here's the thing: both of these shows are happening at Super Showdown.
Yeah.
No, not Super Showdown. It's happening at Crown Jewel.
They're all happening at Crown Jewel.
Whatever, the Saudi Arabia fucking show. Both of these matches are happening at the Saudi Arabia event. Do you honestly think that they're gonna... The Saudi Arabians don't know UFC or boxing like we do. They know WWE. They know WWE.
That's why they're not... But hey, look, that's
Brock Lesnar is gonna win, and it's fucking stupid. Braun Strowman is gonna hold on. Brock's gonna win, and it's stupid.
It's not a Saudi show. It's just basically they want Brock Lesnar to be the reigning WWE champion, and the difference is Brock and Cain Velasquez fought for real in the UFC. This is fake. They can book it however the fuck they want to book it. If they want Brock Lesnar to F5 him in 5 seconds like they did to Kofi, they could.
That's another thing that I want to talk about. The burial of Kofi Kingston.
Oh,
that
God,
that shit was an insult, dude.
That was the worst.
Bullshit. You throw the title. They all did it because of Fox. They wanted Brock Lesnar to represent as champion. It was bullshit.
What is it? Is it 11 years, 13 years, something like that?
He's been in the company for about 11 to 12 years, and he put out heart and soul into this company. He beat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. He went through all the obstacles that Mustafa Ali tried to go through, but he got injured. But Kofi
Mustafa never would have had the. Mustafa never would have had the.
No, he wouldn't have. No,
everything that Kofi has.
Kofi was more agile. He was more athletic. He had heart.
Kofi has more personality.
He won. His title reign was bad.
Mustafa Ali could not have carried the title as well as Kofi, even though Kofi didn't do an amazing job. It's not Kofi's fault. Kofi didn't fail to leave an impression. No, at all. Kofi deserved way better than that. I don't care if it had. I don't care if it had to be a disqualification type thing or I don't care. They could have figured out a much better angle than having Kofi come in and try one move and get
Kofi
fucking.
Can have a good match with Brock Lesnar. I know he can. I know Kofi can have.
Kofi can have a good match with anybody.
Yeah. True. I agree.
But like, why? There was no reason. They just threw it on there just for a fucking Cain Velasquez debut and shit.
Yeah, they murdered him for headlines.
9 seconds.
And you know what I don't also get? Ben over here, who likes the idea of Brock Lesnar winning the belt after shitting on him for months when he was holding the Universal title. I really don't understand.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I don't really get that.
Wait, Ben, you like this?
Yeah, he liked it.
He said that we went over on a podcast. Brock Lesnar should die in a hole.
No, because you want to know why, right?
He likes this shit.
No, because you want to know why.
I want to know why, right?
Because when Kofi Kingston lost the WWE title, I already fucking knew, because, okay, let's just face it, right? This is fucking Brock Lesnar. Whatever happens, no question, right in the WWE, fucking Vince McMahon, he will push fucking Brock fucking Lesnar.
Of course.
But this isn't Brock Lesnar.
But Lesnar was the only person
doing
this. Actually
at this point, I know from a business standpoint, Brock Lesnar sells tickets.
He does, yes. Yeah. He draws a lot of fucking money.
Yes.
He sells tickets.
And this is not Vince McMahon's idea. This is Fox's idea.
You know who doesn't sell tickets?
Yep.
Seth Rollins. But you know who? Wait! No, Kofi Kingston sells fucking tickets because Kofi Kingston is part of the. Shut up, Ben. Kofi Kingston is part of the New Day. The New Day sells tickets.
Yeah, the New Day. Yeah, why don't they just fucking split up?
There are millions of kids out there. It's my same gripe with the whole Bailey turn.
Excuse me.
The kids, the kids fucking love the New Day. The kids, there are so many people out there.
They turn heel.
Ben, let me talk. Let me talk, Ben. Let me talk. Let me talk.
People will love.
Ben, shut up.
Just saying. Hey, I'm done.
Are you done?
Thank you.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm fucking done. Thank you.
The New Day sells tickets. A lot of tickets.
Okay. Yes, I know that.
Prove me wrong.
I said individually though. Bro,
it's not individually. They're a fucking group.
As like as a
group, they sell tickets, dude. If you have them together, they're gonna draw a big.
He's talking about Kofi Kingston himself.
It doesn't matter because Kofi is part of the New Day, and that's part of what Kofi is.
He's part of the. Oh my.
That's half.
I know.
Look, before he joined the New Day, Kofi Kingston was fucking Jamaican, and nobody cared.
Aren't you supposed to be Jamaican? What up with your accent?
Yeah,
they've made fun of that, and that was kind of awesome. But right now, Kofi Kingston is part of the New Day, which is probably one of the most recognizable names in WWE.
Yes. They've been here for years, 6 years.
There is no reason that the biggest part and probably the best part of WrestleMania was Kofi Kingston.
Kofi Mania, baby.
And they destroy him.
In 5 seconds. Not one offense.
Less than a year after WrestleMania, he gets destroyed by Brock Lesnar and loses his title.
No thought.
It's stupid. It is fucking retarded.
It really is.
I see no sense in this. I'm a big New Day fan. I'll admit it.
I know you are.
Well, I appreciate that you know that about me. That's awesome. Whatever.
Yeah.
But
you know, the real question is, right?
What's your butt? What's your butt, Ben? Give me your counterpoint.
No. No, hang on. If Kofi Kingston would have beaten Brock Lesnar, who would have, been next to face fucking
Kofi didn't have to beat Brock Lesnar. That's not the fucking point. Kofi did not have to. Shut up, Ben.
Does beat Brock Lesnar.
You're getting ahead of yourself. Kofi didn't have to beat Brock Lesnar. And Kofi didn't have to lose in 9-10 seconds or whatever.
They could have had like a big match for him, like long ass match.
They could have had Kofi fight Brock Lesnar for like
on the show for no reason.
It was a pay-per-view. There's no time limits on that bullshit. They run long on pay-per-views all the fucking time. They go like an hour over sometimes. There's no reason Kofi Kingston had to lose that match in that fashion. And I am really disappointed in WWE for their decision to do that.
WWE is really trying to make you stop watching their product. They want to force you out of their homes.
I've been seriously considering a break from all wrestling. I mean, I know that we're taking a break on DWP for like the next month or so, but that really made me want to just like stop watching wrestling for a while.
That, and when that happened, I was like, okay, I'll let it slide. But when the Hell in a Cell main event happened, when the Fiend got completely, like, with no thought, like, they look at Bray Wyatt
here's
like a fucking afterthought.
Here's the thing about the Hell in a Cell main event, is that the ending almost, didn't quite, but almost justified the means. I loved the very end of Hell in a Cell. The result of the match was fucking stupid, but the whole with the mandible claw with the blood and stuff, I was like, that's awesome.
That was sick.
He came up like the Undertaker, and they're basically breeding him to be the new Hopefully, they're breeding him to be like the new Undertaker.
Corey Graves said it himself that he has a comparison like the Undertaker when he beat Finn Balor. But we'll see how this is gonna go. Goes they're already having Crown Jewel with having both of them fight for the title. This time it's a Falls Count Anywhere match, and this time there must be a winner. And I have a bad thing about that match.
Yes.
If Seth Rollins wins, I fucking quit. I'm not watching WWE. I will watch AEW. I'll watch fucking TNA. I don't give a shit.
Bound for Glory.
I guess if we come back to
something else
doing the podcast, I guess I'll have to watch it.
Let's talk about Bailey right now. I want to know you guys' thoughts of the
that's just as fucking bad, because
you think it's bad.
It's stupid.
I think it's horrible
when he killed the Bailey buddies, but it's stupid now.
No, it wasn't fine. It was not fine when she killed the Bailey buddies. It was not.
She's trying to be like Dana Bryan so hard.
Her biggest
I've seen the
fan.
Same thing from Dana Bryan.
Wait. I'm pretty sure you guys have all seen Bailey come out and hug that one little girl.
Yeah.
In the audience.
The Bailey fan kid from NXT and shit.
Her best, her biggest fan, little kid, That little fucking kid is heartbroken right now. And it's being covered in the fucking news, like how disappointed she is with how Bayley turned heel. And I told you guys this from the beginning. That is WWE's entryway into younger audiences. The New Day and Bayley are their entryway into gaining younger kids to want to watch wrestling.
But
they destroyed when they turned Bayley.
Now they don't.
That heel.
Now they don't have they don't have any female superstars.
There is not a strong female role model in WWE at all. That's not a fucking cunt. Show me a. Even Becky Lynch is a cunt.
All of them. Lynch?
Even Becky Lynch. Yeah, she went. No, she went fucking ham with the fucking the canes and all that shit. She went fucking nuts. I loved it because that was fine for me, but that's not a child role model.
Becky Lynch is not too edgy. She's just trying to be like some sort of like.
She's too edgy for children.
She's too edgy.
She's great for us. I love Becky Lynch. For me as an adult, I think it's awesome.
Exactly.
But for children,
from a child standpoint, it's
Bayley.
Just
like, if I wanted my daughter, which I have, a 12-year-old daughter, if I wanted to show her wrestling, the first things I would show her would be Bayley and the New Day. Because those are things that a young person can get behind.
Now, I got a question for you guys. Do you think they will scrap the whole heel turn and turn it back at some point to where she's back to the
I think person? WWE is fucking retarded and they're going to stick to their guns.
I heard something. They're gonna keep doing it. Something that I heard Ben told me something like last night. I heard that he said that Sasha Banks is gonna be turning back face.
It's gonna be 10 babyface. Yep.
For no reason.
God.
No reason.
Are they
fighting? I have to say something about this.
Sasha can't play a babyface though.
Wait. Let me. We don't usually do this, but let me reference the comments here. Hey, Antonio Washington says. He's glad Bayley turned heel. Who cares about kids? Not many kids watch WWE.
I don't give a shit about your kids.
Here's the thing.
Kids watch WWE. The majority of the audience are kids.
No, it's not. It's not the majority. The majority is not kids anymore.
It's like 50%.
Old people watch WWE as well.
No,
it's like 50%.
No. The demographic is like 18 to 49. That's the big demographic for WWE. But if you don't attract the kids, you won't have a future audience. Nobody's going to watch if you don't reel them in when they're younger. I first encountered I started with WCW, actually. With the NWO and Rey Mysterio and all that shit.
True.
That's what led me into wrestling.
Same.
A lot of kids. It was a lot more
edgier back then too.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was far more
I feel sorry for the kids nowadays because like all they've got to go on is fucking Brock Lesnar and I don't know what. Because I mean, I had The Rock, Stone Cold, DX.
Yeah.
The Invasion Wars, Sting.
Yep.
What do kids these days have to look up to?
They look up to Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns.
Well, Seth Rollins basically destroyed his. Seth Rollins basically destroyed his own career. They've ruined Bayley for the kids. They've ruined New Day for the kids. What else does WWE have to do?
They ruined everybody. They ruined If you look at it, they
really
ruined
pisses me off.
They ruined.
Yep.
They ruined the entire.
What I hate about
even including the freaking the Firefly Funhouse, they also ruined.
They did not ruin the Firefly Funhouse. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, they really did. They technically did. If you didn't watch Monday Night Raw like last week, they had a segment which pretty much you didn't. Did you not watch Raw last
it
week?
bad enough to ruin the whole thing? Could they not bring it back with one more with another good one? Yeah, I want you to tell me.
It had to do with Seth Rollins. Basically, Seth Rollins burned down the Firefly Funhouse, set it on fire, completely killed it. That's what.
And there's only one place that Fox.
And it doesn't make sense.
Wait, Seth Rollins came into Firefly Funhouse and won?
Here's what happened.
Well, he attacked Bray Wyatt.
No, he burned it.
No. This is what happened.
He burned it down?
Seth Rollins earlier on said earlier on that he said he was going to find the Fiend. Except around the ending of Raw, he found the Funhouse Bray. Funhouse Bray, Rambling Rabbit was like warning him, saying like, Seth Rollins is coming back, he's coming in, which doesn't make any fucking sense. And then Seth Rollins came in, he attacked Bray Wyatt, and then he looked down a bunch of mirrors and looked at a bunch of like photo frames and destroyed them all. And then Bray Wyatt gets up, he's angry, but he didn't turn into the Fiend at all. He stared back at Seth Rollins with guilt, with beg, with mercy, because that's Funhouse Bray. He was attacking Funhouse Bray, and he was supposed to be this innocent, family-friendly Steve Rogers type of thing. The Fiend is supposed to be this malicious killer. So then Seth Rollins keeps on attacking him.
So they basically made him look heel.
And they had Seth Rollins burn the fucking place down, and it doesn't make sense because the Firefly Funhouse is supposed to be a subconscious inside of Bray Wyatt's mind. It's supposed to be where he keeps himself safe. It's not supposed to be like some random backstage area where people can brawl in whenever they feel like it.
Hold on, wait. So Seth Rollins burned all the puppets?
No, he didn't burn all the puppets. He burned everything. There was the photos, the Firefly Funhouse stuff, like everything, and apparently, Bray Wyatt says that the Rambling Rabbit is dead. Again.
It's always dead. It's died like 50 times, and it's awesome every time it dies.
And according to a newsletter, they said that that Fox doesn't want the Firefly Funhouse anymore. They want the Fiend in there, so that's why they pretty much just had Raw kill the Firefly Funhouse. And on Monday Night Raw tomorrow, or on Monday...
If that's true, they have instantly murdered the Fiend character 100%.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be together.
And we are listening to you, Antonio. I see your comments. I'm looking at them. I just can't... We can't cover all of them because we talk a lot.
Can I just go back to the Bayley heel turn, though? I'm gonna tell you this something about heel turns in WWE. They don't mean a fucking worth of shit these days.
They don't.
They don't.
The heel turns this is what I like Daniel Bryan's heel turn. It came out of nowhere. He did something that he would never usually do, and that was win Dirty to win the title. And then he became this vegan where he's basically killing himself and saying that everybody in the economy is just basically killing themselves. And
my counter to that is that they didn't quite do a full heel turn. They were like, well, I'm kind of a heel, but I have like good morals and shit.
He's
and
basically
then,
like Captain Planet.
then they go from that to like, oh, it's Eric Rowan who's actually the bad guy. I'm a good guy the whole fucking time.
I didn't like that whole storyline. That storyline was shit. But when Eric Rowan came in around January, I thought it was cool. Like Daniel Bryan having a little bodyguard with him.
Well, sure, it seems awesome. Cool until you realize that WWE's true intention is to be like, fuck you. We don't care about storylines or any of that shit. We're just gonna fuck you up.
And then they brought in Luke Harper, who's basically a allegiance to Eric Rowan for some reason. And then when Hell in a Cell happened, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns basically beat Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Luke Harper didn't get like a returned win. So that's thrown out of the window, and now
it's already like well known that Vince McMahon does not like Luke Harper.
Yeah, and I don't know what Luke Harper thought of like coming back. Was it for the money? Was it for a storyline?
It's because he's contractually obligated. That's why.
Yep. I don't get this whole thing.
So, we've covered Tyson Fury, Cain Velasquez, the Bayley heel turn, the bullshit with the New Day, Kofi Kingston, and all that shit. So,
Leads us to the draft, basically.
We've got the draft to cover. So,
can we just cover one thing before the draft, though?
What you got?
The Lashley Lana storyline.
Oh yeah, that. Oh,
I wanted to talk about that. It's so horrible.
It's cringy. It's cringy as fuck because it's Bobby Lashley.
Dude, Bobby Lashley is killing it right now.
It's one of the worst things I've ever. I mean, for Bobby Lashley, yeah, it's great. But for Rusev, who is arguably, in my opinion, a much better wrestler, a much better character, a much better personality, Bobby Lashley fucking sucks, in my opinion, in WWE. Maybe he's great in TNA or wherever he was, but WWE doesn't know how to utilize talent. Obviously, they can't utilize Bobby Lashley. Obviously, they can't utilize Rusev. Lana is just eye candy at this point, but it doesn't matter. But the way they've done this whole thing is stupid. It's fucking retarded.
Yeah. Where's Lana? What do you want to talk about it?
It doesn't, like, it all ended when Mike Ellis and Maria just basically got out of the storyline.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They had
to have another scandalous storyline happening.
Oh yeah.
And then Lash, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense. Like, Rusev and Lana are a real life couple. They're husband and wife. Why do this whole cuck storyline with fucking a big black dude like Bobby Lashley? It's like
exactly why.
It's like this.
All these teenagers on Pornhub watching black guys.
Interracial.
If you want a good brief description of Lashley and Lana, go watch Peter Jackson's King Kong and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh god.
Just Google BBC and you'll be fine. That's all you need.
Lashley's supposed to be like the new Old Spice guy, alright? Eat your heart out, Terry Crews.
Oh god, yeah.
It's the worst. It is a whole... Okay, Antonio had a really good comment this time. He says Brazzers is writing for WWE.
You know what's kind of funny too? Brazzers is like on Twitter beefing with WWE right now.
Oh yeah,
they're like
that's
talking
true.
shit with WWE right now.
They are. They really are.
A porn company is talking shit with WWE.
Why Brazzers said something?
They're like, you guys want better storylines with better endings? Hire us.
That's real?
Yeah.
That's real, dude. It's on Twitter. Brazzers was like, hey,
that's hilarious.
Can you please make up a fucking storyline? And then the next night they had Lashley fucking butt naked in the bed with Lana about to strip naked and shit.
Well, he wasn't, and like took her bra off in the worst kind of way.
No, Lana took her bra off herself. They were trying to tease it like they were about to have sex or some shit. Like, Lashley is full on naked in the fucking bed and with the towel on and stuff. With the fucking blanket over it. It's so funny.
Yeah, literally, porn has better storylines than that.
We're better finishes.
Oh yeah, there's definitely better finishes.
They said it is so.
Good.
So
Alright, well, let's move into the draft.
Yeah.
Which also was... I don't understand any... I get it.
Can I bring something up real
You're
quick?
trying to SJW the whole world. Social justice warrior and all that kind of stuff. Look, I agree with a lot of like the SJW things. But there's a time and a place for everything. And the drafts are not that.
Yep.
Becky Lynch.
I
do not think Becky Lynch should have been. Go ahead. What you got? What you got?
So after the draft was over, they announced free agents, which is basically
the bump.
Yeah,
which they basically saying that hey, we still have the wild card there. But we're just calling them free agents. There's like 20 plus superstars or something like that.
Yeah, it's basically free agents can sign wherever they want. And I heard Matt Hardy is not a part of it.
Wow.
Which sucks.
Well,
Mega dicks.
Ruined the fucking, ruined Matt Hardy though.
And Fox wants the broken universe in the damn thing. And then they're like, hey, Matt, you can't go anymore. You're done.
Well, they can't really do the broken universe if Jeff is always fucking up.
We don't need Jeff. Like, the broken universe was fine without him.
All we need is just Matt Hardy. That's all we fucking need. That's all
the free agents.
We do need Jeff a part of Matt. Without Jeff with Matt, but...
For WWE fans, you do need Jeff.
Yeah, I guess so. Mojo Rawley, No Way Jose,
him into trouble always, and it's hard
Dana
for him
Brooke,
to come
Mandy
back.
Rose, Cesaro,
I don't
Popper,
know. I would rather see Jeff, like, overcoming his difficulties or whatever on screen or off screen and then coming back. I don't think Jeff's problems have been not serious. They're the same shit that the Usos have been doing for a while.
I heard there's no plans for the Usos either.
No, there's been no punishment. There's been no punishment whatsoever for the Usos. I don't know whether it's Jimmy or Jay. I get them mixed up. But one of them has been arrested like 3 times in like the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
The one that's married to Naomi.
That's Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy's been arrested like 3 times for alcohol-related incidents. Antonio says it's Jay.
Wait, what do you mean Jay?
Uso?
Jay. Yeah, it's. Oh, yeah. It's
what do you mean, Jay? I mean Jay Uso.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that, but like, you know, I thought he was actually talking about like, the one who, about the one who was married to Naomi. That's what I was like.
No, it's
there have been a multitude of problems between, we'll just say the Usos, because.
Well, the Usos and fucking WWE, to be honest, because of Sippin.
It seems like they don't punish. They don't punish them.
In Florida and what was that other place? I think in Detroit again. Jimmy got arrested 3 times. 2 times in Detroit and 1 time in Florida.
Well, they don't punish them at all. But whenever Jeff Hardy gets a little bit of negative publicity because of his previous problems, it's a big fucking deal.
Yep.
And that doesn't make sense to me. It's like you've already got superstars who obviously are fucking up. And you don't punish them, but you punish a fucking legend who's like obviously probably dealing with, like, I don't know, injuries and stuff like that. He can't, like, go to fucking prescription medication because that's the end of the fucking road. You start taking Oxycontin and shit like that, you're done.
True.
He, in my mind, and what I would think is that he's self-medicating. He's in a lot of pain, and he's trying to deal with it the only way he knows how.
Oh yeah.
I understand.
But let's go. Are we done with the other stuff?
Not
you, Ben. Not you, Ben.
On the no. I want to get your thoughts.
God damn it.
Well, on like the board fucking rooms for the draft.
That's what I'm trying to cover now. Let me cover the draft.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
That's why I was saying, are we done with that?
Yes, we are done with that. Okay.
Okay. So, the fucking draft.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier,
yay or nay?
the social justice warrior thing and all that, I get it. But you don't have to draft a woman as the #1 fucking draft pick to make yourself look better.
True.
Becky Lynch did not have to be #1. It's fine that it's perfectly fine that she was on the cover of 2K20. I'm fine with that. No big deal. She's not And here's the thing that drives me crazy, is that supposedly the executives for Fox and USA were the ones picking the selections.
To pick it.
Bullshit. Yep. Bullshit.
Same.
Because I guarantee you, if who's on Raw? Is Raw USA? Yeah, Raw is USA.
Yeah, Raw is USA and Fox is on.
I guarantee you, if USA had their money on it, they would have picked somebody a lot more influential than Becky Lynch.
True.
Yep.
They could have picked, anybody. And then the second pick is one of the most hated superstars in all of WWE in Roman Reigns. So Raw picks Becky Lynch, SmackDown picks Roman Reigns.
Yep.
And the whole time I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
It's basically like the superstar shakeup. They're basically in the same places.
It's like Raw's like, well, we're just gonna jump on this whole campaign of promoting women, and SmackDown's like, well, we'll just take the biggest star that you think you have.
Yep.
True.
It's the worst two picks in draft history. Streetkilln, you're getting called out, Streetkilln.
Yeah,
Antonio Washington's yelling at you right now.
Antonio is calling you out.
I don't know. I can't go back because I'm on the PS and I don't have the stream up on my phone and stuff.
No, probably not.
So I can't look at the chat. But yeah, Becky Lynch and Roman Reigns, number 1 and number 2, the worst possible choices for number 1 and number 2. Well, Becky Lynch maybe not the worst choice, but not the best choice. I mean, you could have picked AJ Styles, you could have picked Kevin Owens, you could have picked Ricochet.
Anybody, but they decided to go with us.
You could have picked the champion.
I know.
The men's champion. I get it. Becky Lynch is the Raw Women's Champion, but is that the main belt you want on your fucking show? Is the Women's Championship?
Or is it the Universal title? Let's be honest. But yeah. I don't know. It's just like this drop.
Now the third choice I do think was really good. The OC, the AJ Styles, and then you get Luke and Carl as well. So they drafted the whole team of the OC, and that's a smart choice because you get AJ Styles for one. But in my mind, that could have been the first pick.
Honestly, I really don't care who's where.
Honestly. I don't either. I really don't either.
I really don't care who's
at
where.
This point, like... I really don't care whether... I kind of don't give a shit what happens.
I do agree with the Street Profits being on Raw. Obviously they were going to be on Raw or SmackDown, needless to say, because they will keep popping up on Raw and SmackDown. Yeah. But I think that was a good pick from NXT roster. I think they're the only people from NXT that got bumped up to the main brand. Am I right?
Well, I think so, yeah. I think you're right. Here's my biggest problems with the draft.
I think they're going to draft more people down to NXT, though.
My biggest problems with the draft were the people that they picked over the people that they left out. So,
true.
In round 3, which I guess was last week, Natty gets drafted above all the really, really talented women that are... Natty and Lacey Evans both got drafted in round 3, both to Raw. There are so many better women wrestlers than Natty and Lacey Evans that have a lot more fan potential.
We still don't know
how
where
how did Lucha House Party get drafted before actual tag teams that actually fucking matter?
Exactly, because look, the Hardys still haven't been put anywhere. They're free agents. Usos free agents. They didn't even, the Ascension, what is it called? Ascension, the people
they've been buried for years, so
yeah,
well, send them straight back to NXT. Just send them straight back to NXT. Yeah, that'd be fucking
the Colognes, just send them back to NXT.
Yep.
Like, here's the problem: they have so many talent that's unused. That's the problem. They have a lot of unused talent. The only talent they really drafted is like talent they want to come up, like that stupid Humberto Carrillo guy from 205.
Humberto Carrillo.
And they want Akira Tozawa to come up from 205.
Drew Gulak. Yeah, Drew Gulak, who was also drafted.
Yeah, like there was like 4 people from 205 that came up. What happened? Just one person from NXT? Like, really?
I don't think one person from NXT. No, none of them actually came from NXT though.
And
yeah, Street Profits. That's all.
AOP.
AOP. Yeah, they're on.
They've been I know what they're on, but they were undrafted. They were signed as quote-unquote free agents.
Well,
whose dog's barking?
Probably Dole's dog. Probably.
Dole's
no,
dog.
I think AOP was drafted to Raw, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they were.
On the second.
But they were undrafted during their draft pool, by what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So they were drafted like off air, shit like that.
Yeah. I don't know. It is what it is. There's still a lot of unused talent, and it's gonna be like that. And I don't know why. I don't know. They have too much talent. That's the problem with WWE.
They handled the draft horribly. They did not do the draft well.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't great.
It should have. It should have. I would rather have had the actual executives picking. I highly doubt the executives of the shows were like,
exactly.
I want this one. I want this one.
Included.
Yeah,
I don't think they were included.
That would have been a much better result than
they
what
would have
actually happened.
For each superstar, they would have had a bet on each superstar. They would have had to put money down if it worked like that on the superstar that they want. Bids
not
the
necessarily. It's a
superstar.
draft. It's a lottery. It's a game of chance. You've already paid your money.
Well,
and
Mr. McMahon,
now you
knowing
get
a Mr. McMahon is, he would probably want
a draft
like
is fair. It's you get a pick, I get a pick. You get a pick, I get a pick. But the picks were not in line with that formula. Like, I'm going to pick the best person I can think of. You're going to pick the best person you can think of. From the very first pick, I was like, who the fuck is going to pick the women's champion as the first fucking pick? I get it. It's a big deal these days.
She's not even.
It's fine.
She's not even relevant though at this point.
A lot of people like Becky Lynch.
Becky isn't relevant though. She's not relevant.
Compared to the main titles and all that shit, she's not that big of a fucking deal.
Exactly.
She should not have been the first pick. I love Becky Lynch.
I do too.
But she should not have been the first pick. And that's my main argument about how the whole draft was kind of fucked up. Because they were just... Either one side was on some social justice warrior bullshit, and the other side was on some, like, let's do some business bullshit. Because, I mean, let's hand it to the other side for drafting... Oh, shit, no. Right after Becky Lynch, the other side drafted the OC. So... SmackDown got Roman Reigns, Not the best pick for the main guy you want to represent your fucking brand.
Yep.
Because nobody likes Roman Reigns. Except for the people who own the company.
The draft not good. I don't know how it's gonna go. Wrestling at this point with WWE is just not going well. Oh, speaking of, yeah. Let's back it up to Crown Jewel for a second. They kind of revealed the whole this team captain thing for Team Hogan and Team what's
Flair?
it called? Flair. What you guys think about this? Fucking team
it's not
thing?
the worst, it's not the best either.
Don't care.
And it's just bullshit for Saudi Arabia.
Well,
Yeah,
don't give a shit about it so much.
That's true.
Yeah,
oh, there's a new team captain too. Roman
it's not gonna matter. It's a house show. It's a glorified house show.
Roman's replacing Seth.
Oh, great! Yeah, Shield buddy.
Roman's replacing.
Back out of the fucking again. Yep, of course.
I could care less about anything that has to do with the Saudi Arabia shows.
Yep.
Because I have never watched one that impressed me, for one. They've all been horrible, and they're all just to appease...
Saudi Arabians.
No, that's racist, Ben. they're all just to appease a bunch of wealthy bureaucrats in Saudi Arabia who have all the money, because if you notice in the Saudi Arabian audience there's like maybe 5 women, and the whole ringside is all guys in white nice clothes, and then everybody else around them is like in common clothes. So it's basically like, unless you're the rich or the elite, and the worst thing is like those guys in the front have like tables and like all kind of stuff set up around them, and it's super fancy. And then everybody else is just like commoners, you know. It's like, here's your fucking fold out seat and stuff like that. But in WWE, in our world, everybody has to sit in those same shitty chairs.
Yep.
I mean, I'll give it that if you pay a lot of money, you can sit up front and you get you get a nice fold out chair with like pictures of wrestlers on it. But these guys are sitting out there in fucking sofas with like tables lined around it, and like they're in like comfortable fucking seating, and everybody else is just like, well, we'll just do what we got to do. And it's mostly kids, and there's literally like 0 women. Yep. It's retarded. And I can't support that. I can't support a multi-billion-dollar company.
Basically a house show.
Yeah.
It's just basically a house show for Saudi Arabia. No offense to Saudi Arabia, you know, you got your deals going on with them and whatnot. I understand.
Appreciate the fact that WWE is bringing something to Saudi Arabia when the rest of the world won't, because Saudi Arabia's in a little bit of trouble. But you've got to support those people as well. You can't just like say, well, oh, your government shit, so we're just not gonna provide your people with anything of value anymore. That's a stupid way of going about things. I would think that more people and more companies should be going to Saudi Arabia to help them and promote them, as opposed to just, well, we're just going to do one show a year because you paid us $40 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah.
It's all about the money. That's 100%. It's all about the money.
It's obvious.
All right, Antonio. We ain't gonna talk about your comments all fucking day.
Oh, let's
I'll bring it up every once in a while if you got
something
something good to say, but I'm not gonna sit there and talk about you all day.
Did you hear that Eric Bischoff is done?
Fired. Yes, he's fired.
Yeah. Yep.
They fired Eric Bischoff. But I didn't see.
On the other hand, is shit.
I never saw a difference in SmackDown.
Me either. That's probably why.
It's like nothing fucking changed.
Yep. That's probably
I saw
why
changes on Raw. I really did.
Yeah.
I didn't see a single fucking change in the way things were done.
Is gonna be the fucking.
Oh fuck! It's gonna be worse.
God. It really is.
Bruce Pritchard is a fucking dick.
Yeah, the ruiner of Impact Wrestling. Just gonna now throw that out there. There you go.
It's gonna be interesting. We'll see what happens. Bruce Pritchard.
So we've covered. I mean, we didn't go like through the draft, like person by person and pick by pick. But I'd say we're done with the draft.
Yeah.
The only big news that I know of is there's some commentation going on about Renee Young maybe going to AEW.
Oh god, yep, just for
but
husband.
John Moxley's like, hey, she's got a lot of stuff lined up for her, and he said so many He's like, she's got a lot going on. She's working with WWE, and she's got a whole lot of opportunities. Because
he doesn't want to say anything offensive,
obviously,
on her name. He doesn't want to bring up anything offensive.
That has got to be the worst position you can be in as an entertainer, because you have to defend your wife, who's on the rival brand.
Yeah.
And then at the same time promote your brand. He's like, I can't speak for her, but I'm pretty sure she's got a
lot going on over there.
It was so great. That interview.
You know he was shit his pants.
I listened to the interview, and I literally could hear the sweat dropping off of his brow. Like, bloop. I swear I heard a bloop. It was, it was crazy. What else anybody got?
I'm not really wanting to say.
Well, actually, I do have one thing. It's definitely going to happen.
What?
There's no denying it.
What is it? What's going to happen?
Shorty G is going to be a thing.
Well, it already is a thing. They named him Shorty G.
No, they haven't called him Shorty G yet, have they?
No. Yeah, they did.
They're calling him Shorty Gable.
They did.
No, he shortened his name.
No, they actually shortened it to Shorty G
He said, you guys can call me Shorty G from now on.
Oh my god, I missed that. I wish I would have seen it. Was it good?
I guess. He kind of made a punt to it. He's like, you guys call me Shorty G. I took the name, I embraced it, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shorten it down for you and call myself Shorty G. He kind of made a pun to it.
That was his way of making it relevant. It's like, I'm going to bring it down to you. I'm going to shorten it down. I'm going to be Shorty G.
Himself as a little man. He's a midget.
Yep, and
he just made a pun out of it. That's all he really did.
Very talented.
Here was my initial thoughts of how I thought this was going to go down. I thought he was going to try to be like this fake ass white rapper.
Nah.
It's gonna happen. I swear to God, it's gonna happen.
No, he just said, you guys can call me Shorty G.
Oh, that's so fucking terrible.
That
was their segue. You're just gonna call me Shorty G. They didn't have like an interesting way to like.
Nope.
No, just the pun. I'll short it down for you guys. Or
he made his nickname himself.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my god.
He's like, I'll short it down for you guys.
Oh my god.
I've never been a fan of Chad Gable, but shit.
But now this on the other hand, nah, it just doesn't work.
You know what? Now, fuck you all.
Bro,
I am now Chad Gable's biggest fan.
Bro, I'm still gonna be calling him only Chad Gable.
It used to be Jason Jordan, now it's Chad Gable.
Fuck this.
Yeah. See what I did there?
Yeah. That's what you did there.
That's canon. That's what that's called.
Canon.
We're sticking with canon here, these guys. My new favorite superstar, in case you guys all want to comment or join our Patreon, which is exclusive. You have to look really, really hard to find our Patreon because it doesn't exist. But if you did look, you can create one. You can create one for us. Start making money for us and then just send that money to us. That's fine. However you want to do it, it's all good.
We still want to produce those TV shirts. It's an idea, copyrighted.
TV shirts. It's an amazing concept. Amazing concept.
Don't steal that concept. We're looking for
shirts
investors.
with TVs in them. I mean, Jesus Christ.
You can watch YouTube all day on your TV shirt.
You can show everybody the stuff that you watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
You don't. It's not for you. It's for everybody else. Because I mean, how are you gonna watch your shirt?
Think about it. You ever wanted like a shirt and it didn't have the graphic that you were looking for? Well, just pull it up on the TV shirt, and now you got that graphic.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that.
Say if you're going somewhere and like, I'm in
fucking Oklahoma. Let me put on the Oklahoma Sooners fucking logo on my fake ass shirt. It's like a digital LED shirt. It's like Oklahoma Sooners now, but as soon as I leave this place, it's Pornhub.
Say you're from Boston, Massachusetts, you're going by New York, but you're repping that Boston. You're like, oh, no, gotta change it to New York. I don't want to get beat up.
You had to throw you just had to throw Massachusetts in there, didn't you?
So you're going through the hood, and you're wearing a red shirt, and then the graphic says son of a Bloods on it. Oh, I gotta change that up.
Oh, God.
So, does anybody have some, major news or anything really crazy talk about?
Nothing really.
Oh, boss looks like he's digging in his ass for something. What you got?
I gotta have one thing I want to talk about, and it has to do with something that's going along the lines that it has to do with WWE and The Undertaker lately.
Oh.
Because lately, if you haven't noticed, like the first SmackDown on Fox, is that they pulled The Undertaker from the show.
They also pulled Goldberg
for it.
Goldberg was there too.
Yeah, Goldberg was there, but they told Undertaker basically they said that they didn't have anything planned for him, so they cut him off and they told him to go home.
And Stone Cold as well.
Stone
Cold was pulled.
I appreciate.
Stone Cold was pulled from SmackDown.
Pull them all. Pull all those old ass fuckers from all of these fucking shows because it makes the shows.
The Rock was there. Stone Cold was there.
The Rock
Goldberg
is fine. The Rock is fine. The Rock is still fucking. The Rock could still beat my ass any fucking day.
Cause he's fit, yo. He
quit at the perfect time.
He did. He really did, though.
He left wrestling at the perfect time, and he made himself into an international celebrity.
Exactly.
The Rock is probably the best example of a wrestler going mainstream. No, he definitely. Definitely is. Not probably.
Yeah.
But probably. It's definitely the best example of a wrestler going mainstream and achieving success. Stone Cold had a bunch of... I like a lot of the movies Stone Cold was in.
But he never got the...
He never made billions.
He never got the fame. He never got the fame.
There was a point in time where The Rock was the highest paid actor in television or in movies.
Mm-hmm.
That speaks volumes. Stone Cold never got near that.
And let's just say
his movies were straight to DVD.
Let's just say The Rock should thank WWE. And I think he does thank WWE for the position he
probably
is right
prays
now.
to the WWE when he goes to bed.
Dear
WWE gods, please don't forsake me. Don't draft me to SmackDown.
He still got it too, though. Like, gimmick on point, wrestling on point, everything's on point. He still has it.
One thing I do want to say is that Cain Velasquez, as far as the wrestling thing goes, is actually able to wrestle. Tyson Fury is not.
No,
Cain Velasquez has actually been wrestling in like some of the Mexican promotions and stuff like that, and from everything I've heard and read,
he's been in the training center too, right?
Yeah. From everything I've read of Cain Velasquez, he's done a really good job of being a quote-unquote wrestler. He's wrestled in, what's that fucking... I don't remember. I don't have time to look it up either. My internet is super slow right now.
Yeah, I think we're at a good spot of ending the podcast as well.
We're getting close to it. But there's I think Cain Velasquez is a good addition. Tyson Fury, no.
Yeah, kick Tyson Fury out.
Let's just say I think we'll only see Tyson Fury a little bit, and then he'll be forgotten.
You think we'll see more Cain Velasquez?
I think we'll see more of Cain Velasquez than Tyson Fury.
I actually hope so.
I think we will see him as champion as well, at one point.
Really?
Just to rub it in, just to rub it in Brock's face. It'll make a good storyline in WWE. Think about it. Think about it. In WWE's position with Brock Lesnar and Cain Velasquez, they'll definitely do a storyline where Cain Velasquez has a feud with him, and this leads into a championship match, and this leads into another rematch where Brock wins it back, and blah blah blah. It'll happen.
Oh, hang on. Okay. Second match for
Cain Velasquez. Alicia Fox is obviously supposedly gone from WWE with no mention.
Again.
Well, no, she got added to the alumni.
Wait, who?
There's a big difference between quote unquote leaving WWE and getting added to their alumni section. If you get added to the alumni quote unquote section, you're done. You're not in the WWE anymore.
That means you're eliminated.
That means you used to be in WWE, and now you're not.
That means they wiped your history. You never existed.
No, it doesn't mean that. You're alumni. You have your spot. It's like if you went to a major college, and you graduated, you're alumni at that point.
True,
so it's like... It's not like technically like she graduated, but it's like you're done with WWE, and we're not gonna like just throw you over the fire, but we're basically firing you.
It's like getting fired a nicer way.
It's the nicest way to get fired.
It's like, hey, you did really good in the company.
Look, you're part of history. Here's your history. We're gonna say that you're a part of history. You're WWE alumni.
Yeah.
Now go home.
I think that's it we have here for
hang on.
the last episode.
Cain Velasquez's
It's not
second match has actually
well,
been
maybe
announced.
not the last. Could
Maybe
be the
not the
last.
last episode, but
Well, it's a team with Rey Mysterio at the WWE live event in Mexico City on November the 30th.
No one cares.
Yeah, that is like
No one
currently now
cares.
on
No one
WWE.
cares. No one.
No.
that's the Mexican series thing.
Wait. We care about Mexicans here on
We
DW.
do.
Yeah,
we just don't
Mexico
care about
City,
the event.
Mexico. Well, we have freaking Sin Cara, you know.
Yeah, Sin Cara, he's awesome.
There you go. Yeah,
He's the greatest
and also
superstar in WWE.
And the Lucha House Party.
How come
Yeah,
he's not
Lucha
how come Sin Cara's not fucking champion?
Maybe. Well,
Because he sucks? I don't know. Maybe because there are so many more luchadors who are way better than Sin Cara. I don't know. Maybe.
Rey Mysterio, Kalisto. Yeah, name a couple. There you go.
Yeah. Awesome. So
Too
guys,
bad
if you
Soulamazin
tuned
couldn't
in
be here.
tonight, yeah, Soulamazin, he had super explosive diarrhea all day. I mean, he told us that like he was like shitting and throwing up between his legs at the same time. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, you gotta imagine, and plus he has herpes. So I mean, that's gotta be bad.
Oh God.
Herpes, like, I mean, the sores around your genitalia, plus throwing up between your legs, plus blowing out tons of dookie out of your butthole. I mean, that's got to be traumatic for anybody. So, you know, thoughts and prayers for Soulamazin, because he couldn't be here tonight. I'm sure he wanted to, but obviously he couldn't. I mean, he's got a lot going on, obviously. I mean, and he also had AIDS.
Yep. Sure thing.
We appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you did, if you didn't, and you're coming back
Are we
later,
gonna if we have any updates, are we gonna let them know?
Yes, we will.
Like, are we gonna make a update?
I think,
or something?
hopefully, I think, you know, at least by January or so, we'll be able to pick back up. And we'll start things off fresh with, like, the new year and kind of stuff like that. And, you know, we can kind of, like, take a break and just kind of refresh everybody's shit. I've personally got, you know, some things going on that I have to deal with. So I'll be gone for a month.
Saul definitely has personal things going on with him too.
Well, I mean, AIDS, herpes, and, you know, diarrhea and vomiting. I mean, it's a lot.
And Ben, you know, Ben just needs to take a
Well,
break.
Ben's
from
just gay,
coffee.
so.
Yeah, I'm taking a break for, you know, what.
Hey,
next,
hey, wait. He's been gay.
While I'm actually waiting for 2K20. While I'm actually, you know, we're waiting for 2K20, by the way. So
that was a super pun. Nobody laughed. He's been gay. Get it?
No
been
one
gay?
really cares about. Because 2K20 is going to be...
I get a single laugh from
It's
that?
going to be shit. Yeah, it's going to be bad. It's going to be, like, fucking stupid. And
It's not gonna be bad,
not
it's just gonna
buying.
be
I refused to buy 2K20 until Black Friday. When it goes, the problem is that it's not going to go on super sale then. Black Friday is still going to be like $30.
Yep.
So many negative reviews, but you know what?
Do we want to cover that at all before we jump off? The 2K20 reviews?
There's not much to say about it.
Apparently there is.
It's just negative reviews and stuff.
It's all negative. What were the positives?
The positive is the new
2K Originals, My Career.
Yeah, 2K Originals, My Career.
So nothing to do with Universe Mode or GM Mode.
No, nothing.
I heard they added like extra matches, but we didn't cover it before. But that was like way before We got like the reveals. You got like
Yeah.
2 extra matches on regular shows and like 2 extra matches on pay-per-views.
Actually,
Nothing.
no, because like well,
the only positive really is the 2K originals. The features, they didn't really add much. Okay, new showcase, who cares? My career is the same basically, other than having female.
Nobody cared about any of that. The only thing people cared about was universe mode or getting GM mode back.
Yep.
They said there was several improvements made in universe mode.
They weren't. The improvements were you get more matches in your shows and more matches in your pay-per-views, and you can have more titles.
You get more championships, more rivals, more matches, more better cutscenes and promo lines. That's all they said.
Ooh, that really makes me want to play universe mode.
For the online mode, they're bringing back lobbies, which is where you can scroll through lobbies that have, that show what kind of match type that person is hosting, basically.
Fuck that. Just fix the online.
Yeah.
True.
I guess we'll see when it comes out, but the online for like the past 3 years has been fucking shit.
True.
It's worse than Red Dead.
I don't think they fixed it at all. The only new game modes that there's been added to it was mixed match tag team matches.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all that's added.
Stupid.
For a new game.
Okay,
mode.
So what we learned today is that WWE sucks, and so do their games.
And their video games.
Oh yeah, and they changed their controls, by the way. New streamlined controls that people are not happy about.
Oh.
Shut your dog up, man.
Well, it's not my. Hey, excuse me, bro. It's not my fucking dog.
Oh,
what do you got going on there? Fucking house party? Is that koalas?
That's Dole's dog.
Do I hear koalas?
That's Dole's dog.
I think you got koalas and kangaroos in there.
Oh my god, what reminds me of that one?
Oh, it's definitely Dole. Shut up, dogs. Don't kick the dog. Jesus. You're a horrible person, Dole. I heard you kick that dog. Either way, guys, we appreciate you coming and checking out the podcast. If you liked it, we'll be back, hopefully. It's a New Year's. Depends on if we all still care about wrestling at that point. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Streetkilln, Soulamazin, Ben Rivers. I don't really do anything anymore, so I don't care if you subscribe to me or not. But those 3, I guess. Maybe Ben Rivers, not so much. But Soul and Street, yeah, definitely subscribe to them. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Love you guys. And we hope to see you next year.